Hey guys, and welcome back to the Easy Cooking Club. Today we are back and better than ever. We've got a whole brand new slew of formats for you this year. We've got meals your kids can cook. We've got easy midweek meals. We've got one pot international pasta dishes, and we're even going to do some elevated classics here. So without further ado, hey, let's get started. Hey guys, up first we got for you this week, we have a very simple midweek meal. It is a shrimp scampi orzotto. I say orzotto because we are cooking our orzo just like you would a risotto. You want it nice and creamy, and so it can just run across the plate. And we are actually going to create a shrimp scampi and add that in to the orzotto. First thing we need to do is make sure our pots are starting to get warm. Make sure both pans are on. Then we're going to take a small onion. Should have had a garbage bowl with me, but I don't. So now we are just going to get all of our onion peeled off here. I am impatient, so I am just going to peel away the outer layer. And you know what? I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that too, good. We don't need to be picky or anything. Now we want this to be nice and finely chopped. So we are making nice thin slices here. Then we're using our knuckle to tell our knife where it can go. This way we can never cut our fingers, and we have more control on how big our slices are. I usually just take this piece and put it over to the side. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. Depends on what else I'm cooking that day. All right, so let's get like a tablespoon of butter, just so we can get these onions starting to sweat down. Let's go with 2 tablespoons. Why not? Let's get our onion in here. You guys are going to get to see the uglier inside of my cabinets as I forgot my salt and pepper. Healthy pinch. And we are taking an entire box of orzo, and we are dumping that in also. We're just getting everything mixed around. We want that butter to melt and just start coating that orzo so we can get some of that flavor in there. And then we can turn our heat up. Here's a trick for you. Add a little air hole on the back of your box. Then you don't have that stupid glugging when it comes out. I like to start with basically just enough to cover the orzo. We may add more of this later, but for right now, we're just doing enough just to get it started. And that's basically going to be it for our orzo. We're just going to slowly bring it up, let it simmer, let it just get all of the starch out of the pasta and into the water, or broth in this case. And then we can go ahead and get started getting our stuff ready for our shrimp scampi. First thing I like to do is get my garlic ready. Now for the shrimp scampi, I generally and I did not put it in there. If any of you have teenagers at home who do the dishes, you know my pain at the moment. Looking for a microplane, because I like to grate my garlic for stuff like this. If I don't want to have my garlic show up in chunks, grate it. You'll get more flavor out of less garlic, and you also won't have chunks of garlic. Now, sometimes you're going to want some of the texture of the garlic, but for now, we are literally just using our microplane and grating it. And technically, we didn't even have to peel these. You could grate them, and the peel will not grate with the garlic. It'll peel away, and then you'll only have grated garlic underneath. So that's another tip if you're in a rush and you really don't feel like peeling the garlic, or if you're just being lazy, which is also an acceptable response. You can just do that. And then we get all of this garlic off of here. You're going to see me grate a lot of garlic in this year, because I think grating garlic is probably my favorite thing to do with the garlic. And now that we have our grated garlic, we have about a 1/4 cup of parsley. And we're literally just trying to chop it up fine. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to not destroy everything. It's the good old janky table. Luckily, the only thing that actually fell was that sealed box of chicken broth. So we will pick that up in a minute. This is when I wish I had one of those nice kitchens with a countertop instead of a janky table that faced out away from the stove. But you know what? That's hard to get right now. Now, if you want, you can actually use dried parsley also, or even that parsley that you can get at the store that comes in a little container that's pre-cut for you. That's also acceptable. So right now, this is getting a little warm. We will turn this down. I'll actually take it off the heat for the moment because we're waiting for our pasta to cook here. Because I don't want our shrimp to be overcooked. That's the problem here. So I'll tell you what, give me just a couple of minutes and come on back once this is closer to being done. Hey guys, and welcome back. It's been about 5 minutes, and I went ahead and turned down the heat because this was starting to get a little too hot on the bottom. So we just turned down the heat, and we're getting nice creamy orzo at the moment. So we can go ahead and get started making our shrimp. Now I know this is going to seem like a lot, but we are using the rest of that stick of butter. Because this shrimp is going to be good. They didn't say it was going to be good for you, but it's going to be good. And if you feel like your orzo is getting a little too dry, just feel free to just throw a little more in there. It's okay. You're not going to hurt anything. It'll all evaporate eventually anyway, so not a big deal. We just want to make sure our orzo isn't crunchy at all. We want it to be nice and soft. And I actually prefer European butter for this dish because it's a little more full fat. And Americanized butter has a little too much water in it. So you don't get the same consistency that you would with the European butter. Once our butter is starting to melt, I go ahead and throw in the garlic. And then let it all start coming down like this. Because we want that butter to get that garlicky flavor also, which grating in this instance helps so much, because when you grated that when you grated that garlic, it broke down a lot of the cellular walls and released more of the flavors of the garlic itself. So if you ever feel like you're not getting enough flavor from your garlic and you're mincing it, go ahead and grate it. You'll get a lot more flavor from it. Okay, I turned off the heat to this orzo. It's nice and creamy now. So now I'm going to turn up the heat on this garlic butter. Going to grab our shrimp. It's about a half pound of shrimp. Peeled, deveined, tail off. You can get that done for you automatically, so you don't have to try to do it yourself. Just give it a little flip and let it start cooking in there. You'll know when the shrimp is done. You see how it's kind of gray right now. As it cooks, it's going to be less translucent and be kind of pink instead of this gray color. And this is going to go from nothing to super fast in an instant. So you just have to keep watching it, keep moving it. You do not want to overcook your shrimp. I would rather have a shrimp that's slightly under than over, because when you have your shrimp cooked over, that's when you get that rubbery shrimp. And no one likes rubbery shrimp. As you can see, some of it's starting to change. It does not take long to cook shrimp. It's not something you want to walk away from. It just goes way too fast. Just want to make sure that's good and stirred. Now, obviously, if we were on a regular stove, this would probably be done already. But since we're on this little stove here, it just takes a little bit extra time. But if I can cook it on this little stove, you can certainly cook it on a normal size stove. Just gonna give this a minute. Tell you what, let's go away and come back when this is done. It's gonna take another minute or so. Okay, it's been another, I'd say 2 minutes. I promise it probably didn't even need to cut away at that point. Let's just take most of this and we will throw it in there. We have a beautiful scampi that we are then going to pour directly in to that orzo. Let's turn that back off. You know what? We'll do it on here. If it burns, it burns. We're just going to mix all this up because we're trying to get all of that scampi through this orzo. And there we have it. We have a nice, beautiful shrimp scampi orzotto that is ready to eat. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment below on what you would like to see this year. No bad ideas. So you know what? Until next time, have fun in the kitchen. All right, I'll see you guys later.